The only person that you need to convince of anything is yourself. If you're putting 100% of effort into being successful, if you're being intentional about where you want to spend your time, if you're executing a plan that you truly believe that God has uniquely designed for you, then you're going to trust that everything will happen in the time that it's meant to happen. Are you like 95% of Americans who are stressed about their money because they're not where they want to be financially? Let's face it, there is a lot to be stressed about. Credit card debt is near an all-time high. Student debt is nearing $2 trillion with almost 5% of loans 90 days later worse. Americans owe $1.43 trillion on their cars. Mortgage balances are a record $11.39 trillion. Personal savings rates are lower than they've been since pre-2008 levels, and job layoffs are sweeping throughout the US with Robinhood, Peloton, Shopify, Wayfair, 7-Eleven, Vimeo, and the list goes on and on. In the financial sector, JP Morgan let go over 1,000 employees. In the real estate industry, RE/MAX, Compass, and Redfin cut their workforces by 17%, 10%, and 6% respectively. Even electric car giants Tesla and Rivian have made significant cuts to their workforces. Uncertainty about the job market, economic and political outlooks are near record highs. So there seems to be a lot that we should be stressed about, right? But I'm going to share with you 6 ways that you can not only eliminate the stress, but feel empowered about where you are in life, no matter how much the world feels that it may be burning around you. All right, so let's get into this. The first thing you need to do is you need to have a plan. I know that for me, I feel much better once I know what I have to do. If you don't know where you want to go, any road's going to get you there and you're going to end up lost. The second thing you need to do is measure your results monthly. Handle your personal finances just like a business. Every business has a profit and loss statement that they have to do every single month. Being able to account for every dollar in your life is going to make you far more effective in reaching your goals. Number 3, have faith in yourself and have faith in God. I don't know what your beliefs are, but I believe that you were put here to do something significant. I remember when I first heard, make your dreams so big that when you reach them, you can't take credit for them. Now I believe that God wants more for me than I could ever imagine or want for myself, right? Like that's just a core belief that I have. At the end of the day, if I truly believe that, what do I ever have to be stressed about? What I can tell you now is what didn't make sense then makes sense now. I wouldn't change where I am now for anything. My wife, my family, my business, my lifestyle. But the reality is I wouldn't have any of it if I went about it and got what I wanted along the way. Now, normally I don't do a lot of faith-based stuff on this channel, but I truly believe that you were put here for a reason, and that reason is bigger than you or probably I will ever realize. God's going to keep funneling you down that right path to get you where He wants you to go, to get you where you were designed to go. So number 4, you just got to show up. The reason you are where you are in life right now is because of who you are in life right now. You are not who you need to be yet. Now I remember when I launched Life 180 in 2014 for the first time, it was a total crash and burn in a lot of different ways. And while I thought I was 100% ready at the time, looking back, I realized that at that point, I wasn't who I needed to be yet. There's a great story that I heard one time, and it was Lindsey Stirling. I don't know if you know who she is, but she's perhaps the #1 dancing violinist in the world. Just go check out YouTube. She's absolutely phenomenal. My kids love to watch her. She's just a phenomenal human being. Now, back, I believe, I want to say it was like 2010 or 2011, Lindsey Stirling was on America's Got Talent before she became famous. This is in her rise and when she was growing. Now the judges, when she was on that, and you can go look this up, you can see it. The judges told her that she sounded like a bunch of rats being strangled. A bunch of rats being strangled, and that she wasn't a good enough dancer. So instead of taking that feedback and giving up, she decided that they were right. She wasn't good enough yet. That keyword yet, right? So she went all in and has literally become one of the world's best at what she does. She's a phenomenal dancer and she's a phenomenal violinist, and when you put it together, she's the best of the best. But the key there is she wasn't good enough yet, and had she given up, had she just responded to the feedback of sounding like a bunch of strangled rats, she never would have become who she needed to be to make the impact in this world that she's making right now. Number 5, believe your own story. The only person that you need to convince of anything is yourself. If you're putting 100% of effort into being successful, if you're being intentional about where you want to spend your time, if you're executing a plan that you truly believe that God has uniquely designed for you, then you're going to trust that everything will happen in the time that it's meant to happen. My advice is to find gratitude in what you have. You can't be living in gratitude and living in anxiety and anxiousness and stress all at the same time. It's not possible. There's science behind this. I'm also not a big believer in the phrase, let go and let God. Even though I hear that a lot, and I think that a lot sometimes, I actually think it's the opposite. I believe that we have a responsibility to become more, right? Your real fulfillment is going to come through contribution on this earth. You can't control the results in your life. The results are simply the scoreboard. God doesn't want you to let go. God wants you to be intentional. He wants you to lean into the gifts that you've been given. He wants you to seek, to learn, to grow. So my encouragement to you is to focus on the input and not the output. Focus on the things that you can control. Remember when I just said the only person that you need to sell is yourself? You need to work so hard that you know you deserve the outcome that you're after. Your subconscious needs to believe yourself. Yet the human brain is only going to allow you to put 100% of effort into something that you believe with 100% certainty you're going to be successful with. So that's your only sales job, is to get your subconscious to believe that you actually deserve what you're after. Now, once you believe yourself, once you know that you're giving everything that you have, once you realize that after that, it's in God's time and not your own, your stress around money is going to be a thing of the past. Now, I don't want to oversimplify this, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. The stress around money, people are stressed around money because of their lack of control about the results. If you can set up a system that you believe in, if you can work so hard that you believe yourself and believe the efforts, and if you can just put faith in God and understand that you were put here for something significant, probably more than you ever realized, then what you're going to do is you're going to realize there's nothing to be stressed about. You're going to have control of those results. You're putting the time in. You are worthy. You do deserve it, and everything will take care of itself. And then you just have to sit back in faith, and you don't want to let go and let God once again, right? Because that just is saying, hey, I don't have to do anything. God's got me on this earth. He's going to make it all happen. No, God gave you these gifts. God gave you these abilities. God gave you this stuff. And with great gifts come responsibility, right? Great responsibility. I think Spider-Man said that once upon a time. But what I would say is just really lean into it. It's a responsibility. It's something that you have been put on this earth to do. And when you realize that, I feel like all that stress will melt away. Your results with your money are going to come together, and ultimately you're going to live a more fulfilled life at the same time. So if you have any questions with all that, I hope it helps. If you have any comments at all, leave them in the comment section below. I'm happy to engage with any single person on anything. And as always, until next video, have a blessed, inspirational day. We'll talk to you then. Take care.